A Black Lives Rally Solidarity Protest was held this past Sunday in St. Catharines. A large gathering assembled at the Salem Chapel on Geneva Street before marching to City Hall.
So it's amazing that all of these allies came out today to really help us support our cause and give us a voice where we don't have one.
Black lives, no justice, no peace.
You know what? We're teaching the older generations who may have looked past this prejudice era of their lives that, you know what, they don't realize that they may be going through with microaggressions and like small prejudices that aren't exactly racist per se, but are subtly racist, which is no better. But I definitely think that people coming out of your age is just giving us the voice that we do need.
Take me back to the Salem Chapel.
Yes.
Your thoughts on using that as a starting point for your march today?
We believe that it's really important to highlight the Black history St. Catharines has. It's often overshadowed in school. We learn like 1 or 2 days of Black history in school while the rest of it will be white history. And you know what? What does that teach us? It teaches us that our history isn't as important, which is completely baseless. So you know what? We really wanted to highlight the historical significance of St. Catharines. So starting there was just the ideal locations.
At City Hall, a number of speakers addressed the crowd on how they have been personally impacted by racism. Their stirring first-hand accounts provided a glimpse into the toll that racism takes on someone that's subjected to it.
I feel like in Niagara, there's almost an idea that it doesn't exist here because, like, either the matter is there's not enough Black people to be racist to, or there's like, it's just a perception that Canadians don't have that because we didn't have slaves, even though in reality Canada did have slaves too, and Canada had many systems of oppression that didn't just oppress Black people, but again, Indigenous people, Asian people, all types of people. And these are things that are not addressed at all. So yeah, it's important that Canada cleans its own dirty laundry before it starts smelling, you know?
Where were you when you first saw the George Floyd video?
I was at home. I was sitting in my room, and sorry, this is very hard for me to talk about. And I was just scrolling through social media as usual, and I just see this video of a policeman with his knee pressed up against this man's throat, and this man is calling for his mother. As a man yourself, you know that you're not really calling for your mom unless something seriously is happening. At that moment, I knew that man knew he was about to die. This has been happening for the last, honestly, 400 years, but if we're talking about contemporary history, it's been happening for the last maybe 40, 60 years, to the point where my grandparents have stories themselves of instances like George Floyd. And I am 2 generations away, and I'm seeing this myself in real life, you know? It's honestly, when you see all the violence that's happening in the streets, when you see all the things that are occurring because of this, you should really be asking yourself, well, why are these people angry? The fact is they've been unheard for ages. Our voices have been suppressed for so long. And we've tried being civil, we've tried marching and singing, we've tried so much, and so much has been overturned.
Today's rally wasn't organized by a local advocacy group, but by a group of St. Catharines teenagers who say that when it comes to racism, enough is enough.
It's our futures that are at stake. It's our futures where we're not getting the representation in our workplaces. It's where we're not getting our representation in our government. So if we don't see these things as a group of young students, we lose the message that, you know what, our lives matter too. So us spearheading this and like kind of really taking this movement forward is just giving our younger generation and like the kids younger than us that look up to us something to look forward to. And you know, our parents are really proud that we're actually out here trying to make a difference instead of just staying silent about an issue that will continue to happen no matter what we do. So
In Niagara, you're watching The Source.